This is the Realty Classroom Podcast, episode number 88, Social Media Madness, how to make it all simpler. Are you a real estate agent with an entrepreneurial spirit who wants to turn your job into a business without sacrificing your lifestyle, but you just can't seem to find the right plan or any plan to help you get there? Well, then, hey, you're definitely in the right place. I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of the Realty Classroom and the host of this podcast. And to help you take immediate action to get started in the right direction, if you're new or build a better real estate agent business, if you're already in it and you're a veteran struggling, trying to clean it up a little bit, I've created a free jumpstart course for you. It's sitting over at freeagentgift.com, complete with an infographic, one that I follow with my mastermind group that I run every single week, trying to make our business better. Freeagentgift.com. Jump over there, and hopefully that will help you. All right, look. In this episode, I want to cover this social media madness, how to make this simpler. And I'll tell you, it's funny that each week, like I say all the time on the podcast, I'm trying to pull from all the coaching that I do. I have 2 straight days of one-on-one, 3 group calls. I'm working on a newsletter that improves what we do here for you at the Realty Classroom for free. The companion episode notes plus a paid newsletter so that you can put them all together and hopefully have some materials that you can work from each week. But this one was sort of lurking around like a white elephant, another one of those things, haunting us in the room, where I see a lot of agents and especially a couple of my own top producers. They'd love to be out there in social, but they don't even know where to start. It's overwhelming. And you see some of the real studs and studettes on social and you get overwhelmed. My gosh, this person has thousands of followers and I don't even know where to start with the content. So, all right, so I'm going to simplify this. And if you go back to last episode in 87, I said, hey, I can prove real estate simpler. So I'm going to stay on that theme because I like it. I like simplifying things so that you can do something after listening to this podcast. You can get off with me. You can take what I said. That's why I'm going to create these companion notes that you can opt in for. By the way, I'll let you know this is the first month. We're getting set up so that you can download notes about this in a little bit more organized way and buy a newsletter, like I said. I'll have some paid product there where you can upgrade. And so if you can't afford full-blown coaching with me or anybody else, I'll get some coaching materials to you for much less money so you can get started, okay? But let's get into this today because you can take action by just listening to me and doing, all right? The first thing that you should do is understand that social media is more of just a medium upon which messages are placed. Think about the entirety of the word social media as these new digital platforms upon which you can put your message, okay? So one of the first things you want to do to orient yourself is Google your business and your name and ask yourself, what do you find? Well, if you're brand new to this, probably not much, right? You might find a whole bunch of other people that have your name. I know we'd love to be more unique when it comes to our names, but we're not. I know Danny Griffin is a great photographer out in LA. I know Danny Griffin's a great soccer player. I think he's in England. So, you get it. You're not the only one with that name. So it becomes important to first stay focused on your name. What can you do? And your business name. And again, if you're an agent working at a big company, your name plus the word realtor, or whatever you can get away with, by the way, as far as rules and regulations. I coach somebody actually in an area, and they're very particular in that area within which he works with our rules and regulations, where if you were to say something like Danny Griffin Realtor, Danny Griffin Agent, Agency, you have to be careful. Just make sure you're in line with the rules of your brokerage and the MLS rules and regulations for that area. But you want to get your name out there. And I hear that all the time. I got to get my name out there. Well, good. Why don't you start with that little white box that everybody goes to when they have a seedling of thought and they put something in there? Make sure you're showing up there. How about that for social media basics? And by the way, it's not like I'm some rocket scientist that's had this down for years. I mean, I even hear big-time info marketers saying, oh, I used to do that and I used to do this. I had to go, and I'm still doing it, cleaning up a lot of my branding. In fact, I don't know, I fell forward or stumbled forward with Danny Griffin Real Estate Inc. at one point in time, and I put that up on Google, and then we moved, and they had some weird address attached to my name, and it took me forever to kind of wait for them to send the postcard and this and that. So go Google your name and Google how to Google your name correctly, how to Google my business, and learn. I say this to my kids all the time. They'll turn to me and ask me a question, and I know they see me as the all-knowing dad, and I appreciate that. However, I'm not the all-knowing dad. In fact, I love the little white box. I wish I grew up younger with the little white box that Google has for search, and I would jump in there and I would have been curious into that box every day. Okay. And the first thing when you're a business owner and you're trying to compete, Google real estate agents in the area you're in, real estate agencies in the area you're in, and look what shows up on Google. Look how it shows up, because that's the game you need to be in right now. Right now. And the instructions on how to do it. Don't sit there and melt down. This is not a how-to detailed. I'm not creating an info product here. I'm just telling you, go do this. Then go Google or YouTube search it, even better, because I'm a very visual guy, and have somebody walk through it on the screen, and they'll show you how to get set up correctly. That's how I do this. It's not rocket science. So it's right there for free. So go Google your name and figure out how to get it all cleaned up, and Google your business and get that all cleaned up, right? Now, once that's there, let me just go a little bit further with Google Ads, right? So I think a lot of us would love to believe that search engine optimization is something that we can get done easily or quickly. And the fact of the matter, it's not. And you're up against a lot of competition when it comes to SEO, just as you are paid advertising. However, it's really still extremely relatively inexpensive to go on to Google AdWords after you have all your business location set up correctly. It's easy to go onto Google AdWords and set up an ad that helps people find you and not leaving it to chance. If you wanted people to find Danny Griffin as a real estate agent, it's as simple as setting up an ad. And I did this, by the way. It says Griffin Realty Group. There's a bar, my name, Danny Griffin. And then the website, my company website, thegriffin.co. And I think just a couple taglines I'm testing below that, but it's a paid ad. And the keywords are what? In other words, if somebody goes into the white box and searches Griffin Realty Group, if they search Danny Griffin, if they search Danny Griffin Real Estate Agent, maybe you can do a couple long tail keywords like that. And that's it. And again, where are they coming from? That's the next thing. I just think, okay, well, I might get some referrals from some of you all out there that, hey, somebody's coming to Boston or Cape Cod. You might want to find me. I don't want it to be difficult. I want you to be able to find me the minute you Google, and I'm willing to pay for that, right? That's fine. So I would say the number one step to calm down the social media madness is start up by thinking, I am a business. I need a sign, okay? And that sign is on a digital platform called Google Search. I'm not even into Google AdWords, which is part B of that. It says set up an ad so that when they search it, they can find it. So not only will it show up under Google My Business, but it'll also show up as an ad. Easy to find. Make yourself socially easy to find on search. Search is still the behemoth, the big old number one social media check the box item. Number two, check your major profiles. Just take some time. You're sitting around having a little pint of ice cream and you're sitting on the couch. Go to Facebook, go to Instagram, go to LinkedIn, and then even YouTube, and begin to think about the big four like that. And especially Instagram for all of you younger agents who are really growing up in this millennial mindset. You are all growing up with Instagram. So a lot of your friends in hence target audience are living there. So you'll have more pressure to understand that. Us older folks like me, I got a lot of friends and sphere of influence folks over on Facebook. It's just my age bracket seems to use it, and I'm there. But also I have an enormous professional network in LinkedIn. I've always seen the value in LinkedIn. That's business to business. In other words, I know it's getting more socially oriented, meaning there's a lot of similarities between that and say Facebook and Instagram. However, it's a business context. So when people put their profile up there, it's their business context that they lead with. Boy, what a great opportunity that is. And you hear a lot of social media gurus like Vaynerchuk raving about the power of LinkedIn and how it's early and how videos are really being seen. It's true. I noticed that with my own. But just start with your profiles. Go clean them up. What does your business page in Facebook look like? Do you have a business profile on Instagram? Is it consistent? Do they say the same thing? Do they lead somebody to where you would want them to find you easily? I mean, I get it. Somebody can DM you, direct message you. I understand that. But just make sure your profile explains your professional orientation if that's what you're using these platforms for. I get a lot of, I actually know some folks that have incredible YouTube followings in their realtors, incredible Instagram followings, but there's a kind of weird fine line with these platforms. Are you making it clear what you do at some point? I mean, I know Vaynerchuk is really good at this point, just being everywhere. And if you really want to find out what he does, you're going to find out. But a lot of you that haven't celebritized, I don't think we need to make people work that hard. Make it clear to somebody, if you're using that for business, where you're at. And be posting things that are at least inclusive and relevant to your business. Right? You might use, for example, your Facebook business page to talk about the community and be a good pillar for all those folks looking for good restaurants and all that. But you better make it clear that you're a real estate professional at some point in time. Don't make me confused when I go vet you on one of these spots that I'm not sure what you do. Don't make me think like that, is my professional opinion here and how I approach these. Okay, so check all your major profiles. Make sure they're clear that you're in the real estate agent business, that you take care of sellers, buyers, and if you're recruiting agents, that you welcome them to come to you. And make sure it's consistent across the bigs, Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn and YouTube. All right. Now, the question really that makes this madness happen is, what the heck do I post? Like, you're all supposed to be this amazing creative that has these ideas all the time, right? See, you might look at me and say, how the heck does he come up every week with something? Because I'm just documenting what I do each week. I'm not trying to be the next creative, wild thinker that just makes it up. I actually do this stuff every week. I bring it to the podcast and I share it. So you can do the same to an extent in your real estate agent business, which I do, but I'm a little bit more formal there as well. Meaning what? I just finished, right before recording this podcast, a market update. So that's the next point here. Create your basic content first. So we've talked about clean yourself up for search so they can find you. Check your profiles so those smack of professionalism. Now we get into content. Well, what content? The number one question that your friends, family, and curious people want to know is, how's the market? So what do? If in these forums, that's what people want to know, answer the dang question with a monthly piece of content about what happened in the marketplace. I mean, my stuff's pretty transparent. All you Realty Classroom followers, if you want to see my brokerage, go over to thegriffin.co, go to the blog, and take a look at what I do. Now, you're going to see a green screen and all that kind of stuff. You won't see the green screen, but you'll see the effect. Don't get overwhelmed by that. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the basics of what happened in my marketplaces, Cape Cod and Boston, that month. That's all I'm doing. I get in and out of Dodge. I mean, I know I have a lot of experience speaking in public, speaking to camera, etc. But that's not the point. If you just slow it down and you have a conversation with the camera as if it's a friend or family member or just some acquaintance or somebody that's curious about the market, just give them a couple of bullet points and you're done. And I do suggest video, so I'm saying I would sit in front of a camera and do this. Now, if you're going to freak out, I don't like the way I look, well, you're hurting yourself if you can't get over that nonsense. But at least put something together that's a market update and get it up on these profiles. So one market update is a piece of content. Okay? And what do I do then? Well, you put it on your Facebook page once a month. You put it on your Instagram profile once a month. You put it on LinkedIn once a month. And you put it on YouTube. Well, what do you mean YouTube? YouTube is a video process. And what if I don't do video? Well, you can turn a still into moving video. You can turn a still with some motion into it with an MP4 and still have a YouTube channel. But you just got to get it up on all these major platforms once a month. Create it. Have somebody help you create it once you've done the original and go from there. That's it. So you have a market update once a month so that you can position yourself as the expert. Now, guess what? When somebody sees your market update, they see it on these platforms. What do? They Google you, but you're already ready for them. Or they go into your profile and they check it out. And if they really have a question, they direct message you. Or if you make it easy for them to find a telephone, they might even call you. Hello. So beyond the market update, though, then we go to the next point where you can go deeper. See, what we offer as real estate agents should be clear to you. It's guidance. That's what we do. We guide people through a selling or a buying process. And if you're, again, to all my friends that are recruiting, you're guiding the agent through how to set this up. So you create a tip series. Now, the tip series, I've talked about this before, just once a week. Don't panic. Just knock out a tip. Well, what do you mean a tip? Well, look, if you were even a new agent and your company offers a weekly update or meeting, make a little note on a little tip you could talk about to the camera for 60 seconds. That's it. Pick up a little tip on how to help a buyer, how to help a seller, or hello, come look at some of the stuff that I do and talk about the same stuff. But I'll be copying you. No, you won't. How are you going to copy me? You can't be me in front of the camera. You can't talk like me. We're not the same people. We're not even the same market. And even if you were, so what? So what? They're looking at you as the guide, and they're listening to your voice, and they're looking for authenticity and truth. Are you trustworthy? And that's what this whole concept of being on video and then putting it on social allows people to do. It allows them to get to know you as a professional. So your tip series once a week. So now we've created a piece of content. How's the market? I've got that once a month. Tip series, buyers or sellers. You can rotate once a week. And then and only then, you get into all this variable content, the next point here, to add your just listeds, which then become just sold. But see, those are variable. So a lot of you that are starting with properties, it gets a little confusing because you only have a just listed once in a blue moon, a just sold once in a blue moon, or a testimonial. I could throw those in there too, but I think those border on being really gratuitous. Like, I think if you're going to allow somebody to tell their story of their journey that they went through with you, that's cool. That's interesting. Everybody wants to lean in and why did this guy or gal want to move? What happened? Oh man, that was a really difficult situation. And then Danny guided them through, oh, that's cool. That's the story. But this kind of, I don't know, this is just my feeling, but the day for they're repeating some formulaic thing for you to the camera and they say, oh, he's the greatest. And people just want to know the truth. And they want to see if they can see in your testimonials somebody like them that maybe you could help. So just listed, just solds, in the stories of the people you help. Those are variable pieces of content that as you have them, now you put that frosting on top of the market update, on top of the tip series, you have this variable stuff. And by the way, for all of you that don't have a lot of that, borrow it. What do you mean? Well, if you're working at a brokerage and they just list things, see if you can get the permission of the fellow nice agent that you work with to say something about their just listed property. Hey, Sally over here just listed this one, and this is a great property. You should come check it out. Let me know if you want any details. I mean, this is supposed to be this cooperative business, and especially in your own company. If you can't cooperate, we have a problem here, folks. Okay? And the last point here in this podcast about social media madness and how to fix it is just be consistent. This is not rocket science. Pick a simple calendar once a month. Come on, folks. Okay, 30 days and one market update, 7 days and one tip, and then all this variable content layers on top of it. But at least there's the bricks and mortar of the foundation of the market update and the tip series so that when I go see you and I go down your feed in one of these places, or I'm looking at the collage on Instagram, or I check you out on LinkedIn or wherever, even better yet with the series and the playlist and YouTube. Here's all her market updates. Here's all her tip series. Here's all the videos of her just listeds, her just solds, and her stories. Man, all of a sudden you have content and somebody goes looking for you. It's easy to tell you're a professional. So this is just not hard for real estate agents if you follow a strategy. All right? So let me go back over these bullet points. Social media madness is crazy because we're just not making it simple. So let's do so. Google your business and your personal name. What do you find? Then go over, because you won't like it probably. Some of you will, bravo, check the box. Go over and search for, probably go right to YouTube and search for, how do I set up Google my business correctly? Because I did it incorrectly several times and had to, kind of straighten it out. I think I'm still straightening out some of it, but I'm getting there. And then my name, who comes up when my name is there. Now it starts to come up over time because I own my own website company now and my agent page is indexed correctly. But one of the little tricks here that you can do is spend a little money on your business and go over to a Google AdWords account and set up the very first ad that you all should have is your name and your company name. So that those keywords, Danny Griffin, Griffin Realty Group, Danny Griffin Real Estate Agent, things like that if somebody goes and search those because they're trying to find me, or even if they just put that name in, I'm there. I'm willing to pay for that. I don't want to make it difficult for you to find me. Next, check your major profiles. Clean them up. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Make sure they're all set up simply. And again, if you don't know how to do this, go to YouTube and watch somebody walk you through it because there's a gajillion people that are experts at it, far better than I ever could be. Just copy them, okay? Follow their little methodologies. They give it away for free. The best thing about the internet. Next point, create your basic content once a month about telling people how the market is doing. How many sold listings this month versus last month? What's the price per square foot? Everybody loves that one. All those little tidbits. Create your tip series once a week. Add your just listed, your just solds, and your stories of the journey of your clients, not the gratuitous, hey, he's great, use him, okay? Get those variable pieces of content in, and remember, be consistent. So to chunk this up, and a key point here, when it comes to social media marketing, it's best to realize that people will primarily use social media to investigate who you are. So be prepared with the basics so that they come to a conclusion that you, as a professional, are organized, professional, and in the social media game. All right, remember, you can take immediate action and get started in the right direction or a better direction if you're already in the business with our free simple business plan over at freeagentgift.com. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so that you don't miss out on any insights each time we upload an episode, which is weekly because we're consistent. We also broadcast our live sales training calls. We give them away. Sales training, like the real deal, in the heat of the moment, on the phone and in the field. They're on Facebook and YouTube every Friday at 1 o'clock EDT, Eastern Daylight Time. So remember, just go over to our page and like us or turn on the notifications, whatever it takes for you to get those reminders so you don't miss out when we go live. We'd also appreciate if you would share our content with other entrepreneurially spirited real estate agents, people trying to improve just like you, so that we spread the love. As I give it away to you, please give it away to them. Hey, remember, thanks for listening. I am flattered that you would be here and the downloads continue to increase, so clearly the message is getting through. But remember, please, from me, nobody's coming for you, so go get to work on your own business. I'll see you in the next episode.